WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. You've reached the WNBA discussions from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm Grandma Mo.
And I'm Lisa DCT. And just for you, Maureen, Fuddy Duds.
Fuddy Duds, okay.
Backwards, but yeah.
You're really into t-shirts.
Oh, I love t-shirts.
I have so many of them. I had to give away like 2 drawers full of them. I just playing sports, you end up getting a t-shirt to win a
for
tournament.
Sure,
yeah. Just so many of them. I can't wear them all.
Yeah, I did this just for you. There you go.
Yeah.
We are the Fuddy
Very
Duds.
cool. Very cool. Okay. So I wasn't able to pick, I didn't really have a surprise of the week, but I did was able to pick a game of the week, a play of the week, and a player. So let's start out with the game of the week. What was your game of the week?
Sure. First, I want to say, like I was saying to you before, that the season, it's just scrappy. It actually ends on September 11th, and before the playoffs start, which is unbelievable to me because it just blew by. But
Yes.
Everybody's trying to vie for the 8 spot. 1 and 8 go in, and it's starting to really, get pushy, shovey. But that's part of the game. But my game of the week, speaking of that, was Indiana at Mercury.
Okay.
Indiana was not into that game at all. They got crushed 60-95. The only one shooting was Sophie Cunningham. But due to the fact that AT made history for the first time in WNBA history with 3 straight triple doubles, I thought that was amazing. I think we spoke, maybe it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, about how difficult, like Skylar Diggins just got a triple double. And I forget who else. It's difficult.
Julie Allemon just got one.
It's hard.
It's very hard, yeah.
And AT just, dominates what's going on.
Like she's eating her breakfast.
Exactly. I've never seen her grin more. She was grinning that entire game. I was sad though, because I love Sid Colson. She's funny. And, she went out with an ACL, and so did Ari McDonald, like we were just speaking of before we got on here, with a broken foot. They're both out.
I know.
Indiana only has 9 players.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
Yeah, they are in trouble. I have a feeling Indiana's going to drop a few games here. Who knows when Caitlin Clark gets back, but they're going to have to pick up somebody. They don't have a point guard. And
right.
I don't know. I mean, they had Ari McDonald for most of the game, and they still weren't, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't shooting well. The only one that was shooting well in that game was Sophie Cunningham. Boston was ineffective. Howard was ineffective. And, Phoenix was just rolling along. And
I really couldn't get a good shot. Now, obviously, Sid Colson was, no one was near her. It was just.
No, she just landed bad. And it looked like an MCL to me.
Yeah.
Her knee went in.
Yeah.
She buckled in. So that looks like an MCL to me. But her MCL probably tore a little bit too with the ACL. But it just buckled inside. Yeah, and she just jumped up, and when she came down, it just buckled on her.
She had just celebrated her birthday, too. I think she's 36, 35.
35. That's what they said on the TV. It was 35.
It's like looking at Courtney Vandersloot, Yeah. You got to start looking at, shoot, my dog got loose yesterday. I had to run out after him. I'm like, I ran around the corner. Little did I know, my neighbor had a potted tree, which I ran into. Funny as hell. I hope he has the video. But nonetheless, as you get older, you can't run. And once you come back from an injury, or try to come back from an injury like that, who knows what's going to happen next year. I feel bad. I feel bad for her. And Ari McDonald, I have no idea what happened. Did she kick the?
She went in for a layup. I watched the whole thing because I was wondering, because I had heard about it before I watched the game. And then when I was watching the game, I'm like, okay, where does Ari get hurt here? And I'm watching, and she just went in for a layup, and nothing looked like she hurt herself, but then she was under the basket, and then as she was trying to come back from that, she was limping. So
Yeah.
she must have landed funny.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. I'm like, I can't, did she kick, the
No, it
part
was a
of the,
normal play. And when she landed, she must have something happened to her foot and it broke her foot. And she tried to
unbelievable.
stay in the game,
Yeah.
because there was no timeout or anything. And she was like limping down the other. And I'm like, oh, she's hurt.
Yeah.
And
Tough, tough as
and then
nails.
she
They
was
all want to
gone.
stay in.
So my the game of the week was Minnesota and Seattle. This was not a good week for Seattle. I mean, they played great, but they
Yeah.
lost every single game. Like they lost that 108 to 106 double overtime game last week. Then they play Minnesota. They lose to them by a few points. And then they lost to who was it? Vegas, I think. Just one after the other. And Seattle is dropping in the standings. They're
Yeah.
now tied in the loss column with the Valkyries and the Sparks. But great games by Seattle. They're just not winning. They're just not winning. And
Right.
but they're in these epic games. I could have picked that one or I'm not sure which other game they had, but they had a couple games and both of them could have been games of the week. Just
Yeah.
terrific games with Seattle involved, but they're not getting the wins. And then the
That's
game.
That's why I said to you, this was really for me, probably as it's going along and the play is getting, more intense. It's
Mhm.
hard. It really is hard to pick either any of these,
Yeah. Well,
without saying,
Atlanta
oh,
and Phoenix, because Phoenix was losing. Phoenix was up in second place. And then
yeah,
they lost like 4 in a row. Phoenix is playing well. And so you have Minnesota and then you have Atlanta and Phoenix that have 11 losses. Well, they're
yeah,
playing this, I think they're playing Sunday. Or they're playing each other coming up.
yeah,
I
you
can't
got
remember
tonight.
exactly when they're playing, but they're playing each
Yeah,
other. So you have those two with 11 losses, and then you have um, the Fever. Well, yeah, you have the Fever in Vegas with 14 losses, and then you have Seattle, the Valkyries, and the Sparks with 15 losses. So those 5 teams are going to be vying for those last like 3
I know.
spots.
I know.
And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, look at it. I mean, you would have thought Indiana would be up there, but now with the injuries that they've had,
Ah,
they're probably
that's,
going to drop quite a few games.
yeah,
And they may not. Who knows? But I have a feeling they're going to. And before, who knows when Caitlin Clark's coming back, but until she comes back, they're going to be hurting.
yeah. I
But
think they said like that. I think they said soon, like maybe this coming week, but I don't know. They keep pushing it off. So,
yeah, well,
they don't want
groins
to
are hard
rush
to
her.
come back from.
Yeah.
They definitely are hard to come back from.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what they're going to do.
It's just interesting how an injury can, Minnesota barely hung on yesterday against Washington. Washington was winning for about 90% of that game.
They were.
And then Minnesota pulled it out at the very end. But I mean, Citron hit a 3 that tied the game with less than a minute left. And
Yeah,
then Courtney Williams came right back, boom, hit that baseline 2 and put them ahead.
I know.
And they eked that one out. And it's like,
They
okay, they
did
don't
eke
have
it out.
Fee.
Yeah, they did. I know Fee's out 2 weeks. She was there on the sidelines.
Yeah, I saw her.
Um,
Yep.
but for the Mystics, of course they lost Sykes and they'll be getting I think Sheldon from Connecticut Sun.
Yeah. And
There's
then
there were
the
like
Sun
4 or
get
5.
Edwards.
Yeah, which is great for us, but
Yeah.
I don't know how Edwards feels. But whether or not the Sun gets sold or not, that's still up in the air.
Well, they'll
There's
be in
some
Connecticut next year, so that
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
next year won't change. But
No,
beyond that, I mean, Connecticut has a good young group.
they
So do
do.
the Mystics. And the Mystics
Yeah,
are loaded with draft picks.
right.
All these
Eh,
trades they've made have loaded them up with draft picks for
which
next
was
year.
which was cool to see. Who just went to them? Was it Clark?
Yeah, Alicia Clark and
Oh,
JC
Lisa
Sheldon
Clark.
went to Yeah.
went to the Mystics. She's just a key clutch veteran
She
player who
is.
can help these uh, rookies, newbies, grasp
Yep.
WNBA stuff a little bit quicker. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for
And
the
she's a good
new
three-point
kids.
shooter.
So
And she
she's
wasn't getting much playing
clutch.
time in Seattle. I mean, it was
She,
cool for her to go back to Seattle, I thought, at the beginning of the year because she was there during Sue Bird days and Breonna Stewart, and she was part of that group. So
yeah,
I thought, oh, well, cool. She'll end her career in Seattle. And then she wasn't really getting much playing time. So, um, if they can, set some plays for her, or she can knock down some threes. That's
yeah.
for sure. And she's a very good defender.
She's awesome. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was a really good, for her to go there. She, of course, they're not going to say, "Oh, it sucks here," but she seems like she's happy
Well,
to
I
be
didn't
there.
realize it, but she was part of the Mystics. Before she went to Seattle, she
It's
was part of the
nice.
Mystics. She was on the Mystics. I had no idea. I was listening to something this morning and I was like, oh, yeah, she was part of the Mystics. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Didn't know that. But,
aces.
Sykes really hasn't been playing well. So, I mean, the beginning of the year, she was playing great. She was
Yeah,
scoring 20 plus points. And then all of a sudden, after she got injured, she hasn't really been playing that well. And maybe she will for Seattle, but I saw the game yesterday, and I mean she was okay, but she wasn't. She just took minutes away from Skylar Diggins. They
right,
thought she was going to take away time from Erica Wheeler, but it was Diggins that was on the bench.
right, right.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but Diggins has been hot, hot and cold too.
Yeah, in both aspects. I love
Yeah.
her because there we go again. There's another little scrappy soul. I
Oh
say
yeah.
little. She's taller than I am, but she's always review. She's
Oh
screaming
yeah, I
on the
know.
court. She's another one.
Yeah, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
who was your player of the week?
My player of the week was after a year of rehab that she tore ACL in the Connecticut game was Cam Brink. With the Sparks and the Fever game because it's a great comeback story.
It is.
She had 5 blocks in that game.
Yeah,
She
she did.
she swats the basketball like it's a damn ping pong ball. And you know how I love blocks. And they've won 7 of their last 8. So
Yeah,
they're climbing up there. And to have
yeah, they
her
are.
back just at this time, I think might be essential, going forward.
Yeah, yeah. I gave her my play of the week. One of her blocks she was probably 6 feet away from whoever was shooting it. I can't remember now who was shooting it. But the person like shot it and it was like halfway to the basket and she just
I
went,
know I know the one you mean. I was like, holy crap, that's a wingspan.
oh
She's
yeah,
like she's like a 747. It's
yeah,
like, holy smokes.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I think it was Cunningham actually against Indiana. And she took like a 10-foot jumper and Brink was far away from her and she just jumped up and went wham. And my jaw dropped. I was like, "Holy crap. She just blocked that mid-air."
There were some great blocks this week.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
goes a block, and you get a block, and they get a block. I was like, holy
Yeah.
smokes, this is great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she was my
There was a
player.
lot of blocks in that game. That's
How
for
how
sure.
about you? Who was your player?
Player, I gave it to Alyssa Thomas. Three
Yeah,
double doubles in the same
yeah,
week,
I know.
back to back to back. I mean, there were other players that played good, but who
To know how
nobody's
hard
done
that
that
is.
in the history
Right.
of. I was reading on Facebook before we got on here that that's the first time that's ever happened in
Yeah,
history. Three
yeah,
double doubles back to back.
yeah. And some people go an entire career and never have that. And she does it like it's nothing.
Well, she's a unique player because
Yeah.
she's a point guard. They keep saying point forward, but she's a point guard. She's just a big point guard. She's like Magic Johnson was to the Lakers. I mean, he was 6'9", but you didn't call him a point forward. He's a point guard. He's just a tall point guard. So that ability, number one, she's most of the time got someone smaller on her. And then, and she's 6'2", so she gets in there for rebounds. And she's the one making the passes. So her hardest part of the triple double, I think, is scoring.
Yeah, I agree.
She
100%.
gets the assists and the rebounds easy, which the
100%.
assists are usually the toughest.
Yeah.
But if you're a point guard, the rebounds are the toughest. But for
People
her,
people are saying people being it's usually guys that I interact with.
mm-hmm,
And they're like, "Oh, she's just being a big bully." She's just a big girl.
yeah,
It's like Lloyd has made some picks and stuff this week where people have bounced off of her. And I was
yeah,
like, wow. I mean, they're just, hey, they put time in the gym. What are you going to do? They're big.
yeah. And
You
you
get
run
some,
into them, and it's like hitting a wall. And it's
yeah,
not their
and
fault.
no. And to them,
Yeah,
it's like, what just hit me? Because I didn't
yeah,
feel it.
yeah,
I think the Lexi Hall bounced off her a few times, and an
yeah,
AT was like, you know, I like the
yeah,
one play where like who had the ball? Boston had the ball, and AT's right behind her, and she's right at the sideline. And she just looked at Boston, and Boston like lost her balance and went out of bounds, and Mercury got the ball. And like, she's just a dominant figure. I
yeah,
would have
she
fell out
is.
of bounds too.
She is. Yeah. And then like when we were the Valkyries were playing Phoenix, Veronica Burton took a charge from her. Oh my God, I didn't think she was going to get up.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
That's
That
what
was
I'm saying.
brutal.
Two bodies colliding. They don't give,
Yeah.
enough credit to the fact that these girls are well conditioned.
Yeah.
And, even the skinny ones who bounce off, that would fold some people over. Like
Yeah.
McBride took a hit yesterday, and I was like, there she was out of the game for a little bit. I
Yeah,
think
I
it was,
was worried about that. I just was
yeah,
I was watching that game this morning and like first play of the game, like boom,
yeah.
her Heidemann and I think it was Heidemann and
No,
someone else.
it was Courtney.
It was
Yeah, well,
Courtney.
Courtney
Yeah,
was in the
Heidemann came
middle.
in for McBride. That's right. And
Yeah.
I forget who. I think it was Citron. They all just collided, and McBride did not get back up.
No, she was doubled over. But see, that's the thing. Again, you knock your arm on something, you hit it just the wrong way. When two bodies are colliding and you knee knock or whatever, get hit in the face with an
Yeah,
elbow, you're lucky you have teeth,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It sometimes it's just a matter of angles, like how you get hit and where you get hit. Sometimes you get hit in a soft spot and it's okay, and other times you get hit somewhere like it's like hitting your funny bone. You can hit your arm in a lot of places, but you hit your funny bone and oh my God,
Exactly.
it's a whole
And
different reaction.
nobody, no player wants anybody to get injured. And that
Right.
was never more evident in the Connecticut Sparks game where Plum took a foul. They were going to do a jump ball, and I think it was Morrow. I think
Yeah, it was
got
Morrow.
injured. That injured her arm, and Kelsey could tell. So she created a foul so that they could get a timeout and have her go off. She could tell the player was hurt.
Yeah.
Now, players are gonna, go at each other, but really nobody wants anybody to
No,
get in.
just competition.
Yeah,
It's just competition, and it happens. But
yeah, it
yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah. So, what else caught your eye this week?
Let's see. What did I see? Well, the trades, as we talked, Carrington, which was a great trade to the Lynx. Leah Edwards to the Sun, which is going to be good. I know that's going to happen. Sheldon the Sykes. Sheldon goes to Mystics. Sykes goes to Seattle. And I know what else it was. It was nice to see Chris Daly go UConn, go to see Paige play at one of the games.
Yeah,
Becker's plays
I think
like
it
a
was New York. I think it was
yeah,
the New York game.
just crazy. I'm like, that's nice. That's really nice to see. I mean, a lot of the college coaches have been there. on the
Yeah.
sideline, but I was happy for Paige because she really has an extraordinary year so far. And the fact that Maddie Segrist is back is good for the Wings,
Yeah.
who, are just
Yeah.
having
She's
it.
played well
Tough
right
summer.
away. Yeah.
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 And one other thing was Asia Wilson.
Hmm.
She got her, not only did she celebrate her birthday, little did I know she was a Leo. Go Leos. My birthday's next week. She got her 500th career block. And I think she got it on the Valkyries. I think
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
it was. And I was like, oh, Maureen's gonna hate that. It might have been, or maybe I don't know what it was, but Ace is finally, after that blowout loss to the Lynx, are finally, after Asia had a little team meeting and was like, this is
Yeah.
embarrassing. They're at least Chelsea Gray, it's like came from it's like, where have you been?
Out of the cave.
She
Yeah, I know.
exactly. It's like
She's still
suddenly,
making passes. She's still making bad passes that she never used to make in
yeah,
years past.
yeah,
She's missing people, and that may be just to there's new people on the team, but she tries and she always was doing those fancy passes instead of just
yeah.
a
The
regular
no,
pass. And
no
now they're
long
missing.
around. Yeah, I know where they
Yep.
used to hit before. Now, hey, again,
Yeah.
that happens with age. Just pass the freaking ball. I don't care
Yeah.
if you can pass it behind your back. Just get it to me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, what the frig?
Yes.
As a teammate, you know what I
Yep.
mean? I'd be like, throw it right.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
did you watch? I watched yesterday 2 parts of the Diana Taurasi documentary.
That is on my list. I went to look for it, and it was the day before it came out. I was gonna
Yeah,
watch it, and it was a day
please
early.
do. Please
Yeah,
do. It's amazing to, first of all, she was young in the league, she was young and the league was young. And, people are saying, oh, she insulted janitors by saying she was only making $42,000 a year. No, she wasn't. She was basically saying, why do women have to go overseas, which you get a whole thing of what they went through being overseas and what they
yeah,
were, what they got while they were there
yeah,
and
yeah.
what happened when they were over there. So I never knew that. And what her family went through while she was over there. Amazing. I didn't even know she had a sister. So
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
can't
she
wait
doesn't
to,
talk much about that stuff. You don't hear her talk much. I learned a lot from Sue Bird in the Clutch.
yeah,
It's on HBO Max or Prime or something, and I got that, and that told a lot about because they were both there together, and about the guy
they
getting
were. Yeah.
murdered, and
Yes. They go through all of
and then
that.
they drove by. The
Yes.
guy
And they
was
showed
shot
pictures.
in his car,
Yes.
and they left because he was on his way to their game, and
Yeah.
their game ends up getting canceled. Nobody knew what to do. And so they got in their van, whatever vehicle they were in, and they ended up driving right past him. And his wife was with them. So
Yeah.
they all drove past the scene where he was killed.
I know.
Yeah,
I,
that was
I, I
crazy.
didn't know I was like, wow. So when you look at her, everything that she went through with everything, the beginnings of the league and what have you, when it comes to like the growth and the expansion of the league, and now you've got Unrivaled where players can make like 220 some odd $1,000 a year just to do Unrivaled.
Yeah.
um she was so part of the growth, showing her on the buses, on the old school ways of
Oh, yeah.
what they used to have to do in order to play what they loved. But at least they had that opportunity. God
Yeah.
knows they would have had to hitch up horses for us. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to whip
Yes.
the horse to get me to the next game? But
Yeah.
that was it. I hope you do watch it because
Oh, no,
it's
I'm planning on it this weekend. Yeah.
yeah. And I did want to say the one other thing for me the was it the play of the week, that's what it was. To be a valuable part of any team doesn't mean that you're the person that scores the buckets.
Uh-huh.
And last night two women on the Lynx bench were the key to being able to see two fouls. One was on Courtney Williams,
Yep.
another one. We're able to review, be able to review the calls, which went successfully.
Two of them in the
for
last
the Lynx.
minute there. Yeah.
Exactly. Which secured. So really, without them doing that, yeah, granted, the players still had to play, but I'm like, that goes to show you it's a whole team thing,
Yep.
everybody included. So that
Yep.
was nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've highlighted them a couple times this year already.
Yeah, they
Those
were high
two,
fiving each other.
those two women that review the calls and stuff and
Yeah,
tell Cheryl Reeve.
yeah,
They've been right, I think, every time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Just, yeah, amazing.
That's why we're the fuddy duds. But Diana Taurasi did say, and I'm like, geez, we really haven't grown that far, have we? That how they had to come out as they couldn't be themselves. They had to come out like fashion models and pretend to be certain ways,
Yes.
and you couldn't be yourself. And I'm like, wow, I like you just didn't realize that continued, straight through. Nowadays, it's totally different. But
Yeah. A lot of things have changed in the last, even just 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
amazing because I watched the thing about the 96 Olympic team and what Jennifer Azzi was saying in that I forget what it was called, but it was about the Olympic team and Rebecca Lobo was on that team and Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie and Dawn Staley and Jennifer Azzi was one of the few white girls on there.
yeah,
And she just her describing it in hindsight, she was like, "Oh boy, they wanted us to be a certain way and we could not, they were putting makeup on us and
yeah,
doing all this stuff." And she was just like, I felt like a fish out of water.
yeah.
And,
You'll
but you
see
did
that.
what you had, because they were like, this is the only way people are going to watch. And what they mean is men,
Right.
everything is to the pleasure of men. But
You're right. No, I know. And
that
actually, when I
that's
was
a whole
watching it,
separate issue.
when I was watching it, it made me sick because I know that feeling, of
Yeah.
playing against the guys, and
Yeah.
just the whole thing. I was like, God, that's sickening that it lasted that long. Can we get out of that
Yeah.
stereotype for shit's sakes? Girls play sports and they play them better, and a lot of times the girls are way better than the guys. It's just the way it is,
Yeah.
boys. Deal with it. It's all
Yeah.
right. Not
Yeah.
every girl is going
Yeah.
to be in an apron in the kitchen. Some like to hoop
Yeah.
or play softball or whatever. And so
Yeah.
that's just my thought. We can go into that whole thing for like an hour and a half, but
Yeah, I know.
but it was what we came from, unfortunately,
Yes.
and it took a little bit, even with Diana. And
Took
I
a
didn't,
lot longer because
but
when I was in college, I remember thinking, okay, I'll be able to play pro ball because the WBL had started when I was in high school. And so I get to college and I'm like, oh, this is great, be able to play. And then by my sophomore year, it had folded. So then I
right.
knew there was nothing after that.
I know it
And
sucks.
you didn't, unless you knew someone, you had no idea that you could go overseas. There were very few people that even knew about that at that
Right.
time. I mean, now you look back on it, it was like, oh man, I should have just went overseas, but I didn't even know about it. I knew one
No,
player that went, and she went to
I
Japan.
never knew about it either.
Yeah,
Not back when we played. Never heard about it. It
yeah,
was the first, I had heard when, players started saying they were going overseas, check out what their stats are while they're over there,
mm-hmm.
so they made much more money over there.
Oh yeah, they did.
They said to Diana Taurasi, what are you doing? Why are you bothering to play in the WNBA? Why don't you just play overseas? And she's like, because there's little girls in this country that want to play a sport and they're going to watch me play
Yeah,
no matter
when
what.
they finally started putting it on TV,
Yeah. Because they
that's a
folded
whole
so
nother
many
thing.
teams and they had everything all over the place saying how the WNBA wasn't profitable and blah, blah, blah. and what they had to do to grow the sport. Watch the documentary. It's pretty outstanding, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
wait to
definitely
watch the
going to.
third part. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, another crazy week of basketball. And
Yep.
here we go again. Your Valks play tonight. It's the
They do.
Sparks.
We need the
Yeah,
win.
yeah,
It's going to be tough. The Sparks are looking good, but
yeah,
we've beaten them 2 out of 3 times. They only
yeah.
beat us the first game of the season, and then we
And
beat them.
I
But
don't think
we're a
they've
whole
seen
different
Cam
team.
Brink. I don't think they've seen Cam Brink yet. They better bring a slight step ladder.
Well,
Just a
it's
small one.
usually what the Valkyries do is just put this intense defense on, and that's
Yeah,
what throws players off.
right.
Like the Valkyries were the first ones this year to start using a zone. And so you have these teams that are so used to setting picks on everything, and the picks don't work against the zone because the person is not going with the player. And that threw them off. It threw Seattle off. It threw a bunch of teams off. But we've lost so many players. I mean, the
Yeah,
Valkyries, it's like you look at all these other teams, oh, you have injuries. The Valkyries have had 19 different players.
I know. That's crazy.
19.
I know.
And
It's
it was
crazy.
funny
It's
because
crazy.
when they were talking about they're now gel.
Yeah,
Let them gel. Let them ride out the rest of the season and see if they can pull something together here.
yeah.
But it's a whole different team than when we lost Kayla Thornton, I was like, oh no. And then Mo Billings went down. So hopefully she'll be back pretty soon. But um, just too
Yeah,
many different players.
the list of injuries for every
Yeah.
team has become substantial.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I always look at the WNBA injury status report on ESPN,
Yeah.
and just to see who's out, what's happening. But yeah, well, a lot of switches in the league, and that a lot of new games for teams to have to work around. Did Bibby play in the Indiana game the other night?
Very little. Very little. They
Well,
didn't
she's
put her
gonna have to
in.
play now.
Like they needed 3-point shooters and they didn't put her in.
I don't
Like, okay,
understand.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand that. I wanted to ask you because I know, then ship her over the Valkyries. What the hell? If you're not going to play her,
I
that's
know.
so
Why'd you keep her
frustrating.
if you're not going to play her?
So frustrating. If you're not going
Yeah.
to play the bench, you know, but I bet Bibby's gone. Maybe I shouldn't have signed that contract. I should have went back to the Valkyries. But
Well, she should get more playing time now.
yeah. Well, now she should. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, great. Two people got to go out. Now I can come in. My value wasn't worth it when they were there. Putzes. But anyhow, it was a good week, and it's always nice to talk to you. And
Sure.
now you can go and work. And
Yeah, I got to go to work in 45 minutes.
I'll just put duds around. That's what I do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So same time next week.
You bet.